Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Infodumping with Friends. I'm, of course, Sega Sister, and as usual, I am not alone. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Quill N. I'm an artist, I'm a voice actor and singer.
Yes. And how long have we known each other? I forgore.
Oh boy. Shit.
I know it was during my brony days.
Definitely during I think it was the latter half of the Bernie days when we met. I want to say,
Yes.
I want to say 27, 16 or 17.
Either one of those 2 years. Yeah. It was around the
Yeah.
same year I became friends with Editor and Crimson and all those other people.
hmm
All right. And what do you have with us for show and tell today?
The Sonic the Hedgehog comic books from both Archie and IDW.
Ah, no Fleetway?
No, no Fleetway. I am an American after all.
Okay,
Sorry, all you folks in Britain. I've never been to Britain.
it's
One day I want to,
okay.
but not yet.
Uh, yes. Anyway, before we get started, commission info on the screen. I actually just got a streaming visual commission done for another friend of mine. If it'll let if it'll let me, I can just post it in the chat. Although I don't think I can, considering I'm cross streaming between Twitch and YouTube and TikTok. Uh, but yeah, if you want some, if you want me to design a live streaming thingy for you, you can just let me know. DM me on Discord. Anyway, let's officially get started.
Awesome, awesome. Okie dokie. So,
Where to start?
how about this? When did you first discover the Archie Sonic comics?
The Archie comics, I actually got volumes 1 and 2 for my 14th birthday. It was maybe 2 or 3 years of being officially in the Sonic fandom, and about 5 or 6 years after becoming a Sonic the Hedgehog fan.
Hmm. So you arrived late in the game then.
Well, late by those standards.
Mm-hmm. What was your favorite story arc from the Archie comics?
To be honest, I haven't read past issue 24, volume 6.
Oh, brother, you are missing out.
I don't think I am, though,
Eh,
considering from what I've heard of the comics in the later years.
if you're talking about the reboot,
No,
that's
I'm talking about, like, when certain people became part of the comic staff.
oh, you're talking about Ken Penders?
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, in 160, when he was fired and replaced by Ian Flynn, it does get better.
Alright.
So I do recommend giving him a look-see past
Mm-hmm.
what you stopped at.
Yes.
You'll have to trudge through a lot of mud to get there, but trust the gold is well worth the trip.
So, what you're saying is it gets good at some point.
It does. It exactly does. It's like going through thick brush just to get to the oasis of a swamp.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's good. Very good. And by that extension, how did you discover the IDW comics?
Just on Twitter. I haven't had a chance to read them yet.
Hmm. Once again, well worth your time. Okay. Who was your favorite character from the Archie comics?
That's not original. That's not from the games.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's been so long since I've read them. Mm, I don't know.
And since most of the characters did come from the original Sonic the Hedgehog Sat AM cartoon, you did see the Sat AM cartoon, right?
I did.
You did?
Uh-huh.
What's the problem then?
I don't like the Sonic Sat AM cartoon. I gave it a watch after the comics and I was not impressed.
Not really a big fan of the dark and brooding cartoon compared to the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah. That's part of it, yeah.
Okay,
Wait, what am
fair
I
enough.
doing? This is your week.
Okay. Well,
Try to enlighten me. Try to convert me.
compared to the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, the story is a bit more cohesive, and not just randomness for the sake of randomness.
Hmm.
Jim Cummings is an awesome Dr. Robotnik voice.
I don't know. It it's it sounds off compared to most of the other voices for Robotnik. It sounds too generic for a villain.
I mean, he's meant to be very menacing in this cartoon, so it's kind of apples and oranges.
One orange in a sea of apples. Wait, no, one apple in a sea of oranges because I'm allergic to apples.
Fair enough, I guess. Okay, well, my favorite character would have to be Bunny Rabbit
I
from the
do
comic.
remember liking her.
Yep, the Southern Belle who has to get over the fact who utilizes her, well, condition as a way of helping others.
Yes.
Half robotization.
Oh
Then,
yes, I remember the first issue that she appeared in. Like, they saved her mid robotization.
yep, they do. And it takes her a while to get used to it. And eventually she learns how to fly with her legs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Eventually in the story she had to replace her roboticized limbs with more upgraded limbs thanks to an overlander scientist. So she would not at that point she wouldn't be able to be de-roboticized.
Okay.
But eventually she did become, though through weird contrivances.
Ah,
Yeah, she got de-roboticized.
okay.
Again, definitely worth a read to figure out how that happened.
Okay.
Dr. Eggman was definitely more threatening in the comics, the Archie comics, as well as IDW. And you said you have not read IDW, or
I have not.
you have not? Okay. Well, it's basically picked up the pieces after Archie got canceled, even though it was its own thing. It takes place after Forces.
Ah,
Yeah, it takes place after Forces, but apparently before Frontiers.
makes
So,
sense.
and you can tell it's taking place before Frontiers because in Sonic Frontiers, Sonic does make reference to some characters from the comic.
Okay, I haven't gotten the chance to play Frontiers yet.
Well, that's not really a story spoiler, so no worries. Nothing to worry about there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fit. But okay, from what you've seen of Twitter posts from the IDW comics, who would you say? Do you know any of the characters?
I know of Surge. I know of Whisper and Tangle, the lesbians.
Yeah, everyone's made that joke. But then again, they also kind of call it, so.
There's also what's Starline?
Dr. Starline, yeah.
Dr. Starline, the guy who Was a huge fanboy of Dr. Eggman.
Yep. And was the reason Surgeon Kit became a thing.
Yes. Oh, I remember that one excuse me, that one puppet. That one
Oh, yeah.
puppet character in the IDW comics
Oh, yeah, Belle.
who got into some controversy.
Oh, yeah, Belle the Tinkerer. Can you describe this this controversy to me?
Um, someone claimed that they had a similar design to Belle first, even though they never published.
Ah, so it was just a... So it wasn't really anything worth note, then.
Uh, let's see, did you? Boing Kid. That's the other character.
Oh, yeah, I slightly remember that. I don't really follow drama, so
Yeah.
couldn't really tell you high or hair whether or not it's a similarity. But regardless of that controversy,
I think the only difference is that they're both clowns and their names are begin with the letter B. That's it.
well, only Boingo is the clown. Belle just has the cute little nose for the sake of entertaining children.
Yes.
Basically, Pinocchio if he was a robot. And good.
Yes.
Yeah, we are not talking Pinocchio 3000 or whatever that movie was.
Geppetto, what can I get on my own? I have the whole world to say.
Oh yeah, that's a different Pinocchio.
Oh, sorry. Ah, okay.
Yeah, that was...
Now, why don't you give me the TLDR of all 290?
You are asking for quite... I gotta get the plot summary just to succinct it.
Uh-huh.
The best TLDR I could say is that Dr. Eggman takes over the world and Sonic the Hedgehog and his friend, little gang of pals have to go stop. And let's see, Robotnik dies or is replaced by a Robotnik from an alternate dimension who then becomes Dr. Eggman because of a body.
And I think, wasn't issue 50 the one where Robotnik's big demise, wasn't that originally meant to close out the series?
It was, yes.
And I think it would go on to be to sextuple its comic issues amount.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 290 issues.
Me.
Yeah. But yes, like I said, that's the best TLDR I can give of the Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comics because there is a lot.
It's a Herculean task.
It's a bit of... Oh, it's not a Herculean task. It's an Atlas task. Especially if you try to incorporate all the side materials and stuff like that. Like the Knuckles the Hedgehog miniseries. Knuckles the Echidna miniseries. The Sonic Universe miniseries. The 25 and 30 years later series, etc., etc., etc. The point
DJ
is,
suggests going by arcs, perhaps?
I would definitely suggest arcs, yes. Let's see. And thankfully, the wiki does have the arcs labeled.
Okay.
Yeah, there is the beginnings, first adventures, zone hopping and new faces, other problems, turning point, mecha madness, preparation for war, end game, effect, Hex of Victory, World Tour, the Nagas Trilogy, Trouble at Home, Rise of the Eggman, A New Beginning, Sonic Adventure, Heading Home Again, Big Payback, and Heart of the Hedgehog. There's a lot of them. Quite a few. Quite a few to go through if you wanted to. Yeah. Thankfully, the issues do have callbacks to previous issues and arcs, and like you said, you have these. I believe you have the Sonic Select series or volumes.
Oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah, Sonic Select. Those are, excuse me. Those are arcs that are just condensed into select books.
Okay. There's only 10 issues of Sonic Select, though.
Really?
Yeah. No, wait. No, that's a... No, I think that's its own series.
No, Sonic Selects are 10-volume graphic
Is it?
novels, and they're reprints.
Okay.
Yeah, Sonic Selects are reprints of different arcs.
Okay.
I would say my favorite villain from the Archie Sonic line is definitely Scourge the Hedgehog.
Oh, I'm
Sonic's
familiar. Okay, I'm familiar with Scourge.
Yep, and his relationship with Fiona Fox.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the archives, the Sonic the Hedgehog archives. That was the series I got.
That's it. Yeah, Sonic Archive is the one. Are the graphic novels containing? Yeah, that's basically condensed ways of getting all the comic if you don't want to go for each individual 290 issues.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it stopped at 24.
24.
24 volumes up to issue 91.
Well, only 100 and 100 and no 90
Only
99
200
to
to
go.
go.
Let's see, 290. Only 109. Only 199 to go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely give the Sonic Universe books a look-see because they're pretty fun. Side stories.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, baby. And there's only 50 of them.
Yeah.
Mm. Who is your favorite artist of the Archie comics that you know of?
Oh, okay. I know Evan Stanley worked on the later issues of the comics.
Yeah.
I followed her on DeviantArt even back when she was just a fan artist. Now she's officially working with Sega.
Mm-hmm. That goes true with a lot of them, like Jennifer Hernandez is the same.
Yes. That was... Ah. Excuse me, I just got dinner and dinner is spicy.
Careful now.
Ah. Ay, Dios mío.
Whew.
Um,
Anyway. Oh, yeah.
let's see. You know what? You go ahead.
What was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying? What did I ask? I asked a question.
You asked, you first asked who my favorite
Oh, yes.
artist
Yeah,
was.
your favorite artist. Your favorite artist of the comic.
Yes, I said... Excuse me, I said Evan Stanley.
Evan Stanley.
Ah!
Anyone else?
Well, I'm trying to remember. I don't think I really paid attention to the credits. I wish I still had those archives. I didn't. I wish I still had them in my library, in my little personal library, but I don't anymore.
Does the name Tracy Yardley ring any bells?
Tracy Yardley. Yes, it does.
Yep, he's like the go-to artist when people think of the comics.
Okay.
And yeah, Evan Stanley's art's very good. Adam Bryce Thomas is also nice.
Oh, yes.
And like I said, Jennifer Hernandez.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jennifer Hernandez, was she one of the people who, was she pencils or ink?
I think she did both,
Okay.
but I think she primarily penciled.
Alright.
Yeah, she did the first issue of the IDW comic,
Oh, nice.
or the first couple of issues.
Like, I imagine, like, just putting a comic together, just scripting it out, I imagine that's hard. And I have some artist friends who do comics, and, I'll admit I do script for some of them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do the whole paneling art, though. I don't arrange, okay, I want this panel up here, and I want this to be a splash page. No, I don't have the know-how to pull off a comic. That's their job. That's their wheelhouse.
I actually did some art for a Sonic fan comic
Ooh,
not too
nice.
long ago.
Ooh, nice.
It's called Sonic Legacy.
Sonic Legacy. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Check it out.
Um, some of my fans, as soon as when it was announced that we would be doing the Sonic comics, they actually put in some insight in the chat. Let's see. Bum 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 bum.
A
Read,
lot of insight from what
yes,
I've seen.
yeah, reading in the server. One thing Archie Sonic became kind of infamous for was some of the crazy retcons they had to do for certain things and characters in their universe, since originally the Archie Sonic comics were to be a companion pieces to the games. The original Archie Sonic crew were kind of mandated to make changes so the comics can better coincide with the games. Now, that doesn't mean they still weren't allowed to do their own thing, but if a certain character or story from the games was established as canon to Sonic, then Archie had to sort of mesh it with some of their stuff. This led to some interesting things, to say the least.
Yeah, like Charmy B, for example.
Um, who's am I reading this from? I think they just joined earlier today. I cannot read it. I cannot read their username because I'm in streamer mode on Discord.
I
Their
are
name
you?
begins with a J, though.
Jason is Gold 79.
Okay, Jason is Gold 79. These are your words. How they handled Charmy B. In the comics, Charmy was already a pretty established character in the Archieverse, mostly because his game counterpart hadn't developed a personality yet, but then the games eventually gave him a personality, that being the youngest of the Team Chaotix, and basically having the mind of a child. So how do you think they were able to make their version of Charmy B be more like his game counterpart? An easy solution would have been to simply make their version have a different name and then introduce that he had a little brother named Charmy. But Archie decided to go with a different approach. What was the different approach? I don't think I want to say it out loud.
Literal brain damage.
So that he would start acting like a child and be more game accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, Sega mandates be Sega mandates, but there were better ways to handle that.
True.
I mean, you called Rotor Boomer for the first few issues before you decided to rename him Rotor for seemingly no reason. You could have done that to Charmy.
Nah, that was to coincide with his show counterpart, Rotor. So.
Ah.
That's why they call him Rotor.
Mm-hmm.
But there you have it.
Mm-hmm. I think other mandates included Sonic not being allowed to be in a romantic relationship anymore.
Yep.
I think it might have been because of the... I can't call it a love triangle. There are too many people in it.
Describe said triangle.
Let's see. There's Sonic and Sally, of course, the main relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Antoine.
Yeah.
And then there's Mina Mongoose.
Yeah.
And then there's that one skunk guy. And then there's Fiona.
Jeffrey St. John was the skunk, and yeah, Fiona.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what? Is there anybody else I'm missing? Amy Rose.
Well, sorta Amy Rose.
Yeah. Oh, I remember reading what they did with her to make her more game compliant. In the games, she's 12. So she wishes on a ring to make her 12. Even though technically she is still an 8-year-old.
Hey. Just to get them to comply with the current game design because her old game design was outdated by that point.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, at least she matured mentally in the comic as it went along.
At least she matured.
Yep.
Have you been on the internet during the late 2000s in the Sonic fandom?
And no, I was never into social media when I was a kid.
Uh,
So it was like in the late teenagers and post high school when I started getting into it. And it wasn't until 2015 when I got into Twitter.
uh, well, this was
So,
mainly restricted to DeviantArt. The Sonic X Sally and Sonic X Amy rivalries.
oh, I'm fully aware of that. Just
Just
no, just a, sorry.
just pitting both girls against each other when, from what I've read in the comics, they actually got along pretty dang well.
Yep, Amy even being a supporter of Sonic and Sally's love.
And then
So
we all got slapped in the face.
yeah.
Just like Sonic was in issue 134.
Oh wow, you actually remember that one.
I remember that one because everybody was clowning on it.
Yep, unfortunately so. Doesn't help that a serious moment, or was supposed to be a serious moment, was drawn like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Yep.
Like I like the art style. I like, particularly if it was used in off panels. But for the official Sonic story, yeah, that was kind of a poor choice.
Poor choice of words.
Poor choice of design. Yeah. How can you take anything seriously when the characters again look like something out of a Looney Tunes sketch?
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not really even that for me, but the writing of that
Yeah.
entire issue.
Yep.
It just reads. It just reads as we need to find a way to get them to break up.
Yep. And how to do that? By making Sally very selfish.
Yep. Uh,
Selfishness.
and people have used that as a basis on why Sally is the worst choice for Sonic.
A kind of weak basis, if you ask me. But fans are going to be fans. Can't really control them. You could just let them do their thing and just ignore it and go and move on.
Yep. That's
That's
basically what I've done with the comics. I just ignored them and moved on. Mainly focused on the games.
No, I've always been a follower of the comics and the games, particularly when I started doing subscriptions starting with issue 195.
Ah, okay.
And it's the strangest thing of how I got that subscription.
How?
You remember the game Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg?
Yes, I do.
Well, in its instruction manual for the GameCube, there was a coupon, or rather a subscription slip for the Archie comics that you could fill out and send in. And all those years later, it was still technically valid. So that's how I started getting Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comics in the mail, starting with issue 195.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Yep. And boy, what a story arc to come into. It was the ending of the cross-dimensional war between Sonic and Scourge arc, and before they fully defeated Eggman before reaching the milestone 200 issue.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Alright. Oh, yeah, I remember, they technically did an epilogue to Sonic Underground in Sonic Universe.
No, they didn't. They wanted to, but they couldn't.
I said technically because I think we still do get the Sonic Underground characters appearing in the comics. However, they still never find their mother.
Oh yeah, well that wasn't really an epilogue. That was just a Universal Crossing story that just happened to feature Sonic Underground. But Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that was to tie in with the TV show. But yeah, it wasn't really an epilogue. There was a planned epilogue for Sonic Universe, but it was switched out for a Metal Sonic story.
Ah.
So yeah, we kind of got. Well, there's no better way of saying this, and we're talking Sonic the Hedgehog who could do these abilities, but blue balled. I am not sorry. So yeah,
Yep.
issue 50 was meant to be a milestone for Sonic Universe. It was meant to follow the ending of Sonic Underground, but they didn't. They pulled the plug on that one.
Mm.
Sad.
Sad. The best Sonic series will never get closure.
Not officially anyway. It actually
Fanfic
in
writers
the
to your keyboards.
they've already done that. I the
I'm almost
super,
certain they did.
oh yeah, they have. So the Archie Sonic Online fan comic has done just that.
Yay!
Yep, they gave us an epilogue.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, for those who are fans of Archie Sonic the Hedgehog and want to see the story continue, I would highly recommend Archie Sonic Online, a fan group which is working hard to try to continue the story where it left off from issue 190.
Yay.
Yep. Yep.
Yay. Oh my gosh. What else? What else?
What is your thoughts on the famous Sally Acorn herself? Your personal thoughts.
My personal thoughts on Sally. I'll admit I started off not liking her, but then again that might just be just the show.
Yes. Yeah.
The comics I did like her in the comics.
Can you describe what made you like her as opposed to in the comic as opposed to the show?
I feel excuse me. I feel like Sally was allowed to just be part of the gang. Like it wouldn't even register that she was the princess. And she was she was the leader. But then again, it's been so long since I've read the comics. I mean, even reading them as a as a teenage Son-Amy shipper, I thought, "Aw, her and Sonic are cute."
And depending on the artist who has her, she really is a looker.
Mm-hmm. But then come later issues where she and Sonic were just paired off with any and every member of the opposite sex.
Well, thankfully, they mend their relationship in later issues.
Yes.
So,
Mm-hmm.
water under the bridge.
Water under the bridge.
A lot of it, too.
Wow, Sally cried that much during the initial breakup?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Let's
Wasn't it Ken Penders who wrote that story?
who wrote the infamous issue 134? It was written by Ken Penders.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Also Carl Bowlers and Michael Gallagher.
Oh, yeah, Carl Bullers. Yeah, he's also an artist, isn't he? Or is he a writer?
He's a writer, yes.
Yeah, he is a writer. Well, what can you do? But yeah, everyone knows the infamous Ken Penders, and everyone hates his guts, and everyone wants that comic book he is behind to just burn up and die.
Yeah. All of the
Yeah.
legal cases that Ken Penders
And not just
are a
with
part
Sonic
of.
Comic, but also Sonic the Hedgehog the games too.
Uh,
Specifically against the whole Sonic the Chronicles the Dark Brotherhood thing.
oh, yeah. Not gonna
Yep.
lie, I prefer the echidnas in that game as opposed to the echidnas in the comics.
Yeah, the echidnas are definitely something for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And it's because of Ken Penders we're never allowed to have an echidna character in any Sonic media ever again.
Yep. Except for Tikal, of course. And
Yes.
Knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
Damn you, Ken Penders.
Who are your favorite writers and artists from the comics?
Ian Flynn would have to be my favorite writer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he
Ian Flynn, who, from what I understand, Ian Flynn killed it with Sonic Frontiers.
yes, yes, he did. It also helps that he's a longtime Sonic fan, so
Yes.
yeah,
What about you?
yeah. I said Ian Flynn.
Oh, just Ian Flynn? No favorite
No,
artists?
oh no, no. Oh, I was Ian Flynn, Tracy Yardley, Evan Stanley as writers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Evan Stanley, Tracy Yardley, Jennifer Hernandez, Adam Bryce Thomas. Those are my favorite artists.
Yeah.
Yep.
I noticed that Evan's name appears 3 times.
Twice.
As a pencilist, as an inker, and as a writer. She's a triple threat.
Yep. She's a penciler, inker. The first time she actually was, the funny thing, the first time she was actually hired for the comic, her first issue was dealing with the first Genesis wave aftermath when
Oh, okay.
Ixis Nagus, one of the villains, his the three beings which compose his person were awakened.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Another contrived character development was Ixis Nagus as a combination of 3 characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't he supposed to be the main villain of season 3 of Sad AM before it got canceled?
I believe that was that was an idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think another idea was that the person who was allied with Snively during those final moments in Sad AM was either Metal Sonic or Knuckles.
And I don't believe it for being Knuckles, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, Ixis Nagus in the comic was a fusion of 3 Order of Ixis members. They were Agunas, Nasgau, and Suguna. A rhino, a bat, and a lobster, respectively.
Okay.
So yeah, that's something, isn't it?
That is.
Yep. He's a lobster. He's a lobster.
Is he a rock lobster?
No,
Oh.
just a simple lobster. But yeah, Evan Stanley's first comic that she worked on was issue 231, and it involved Ixis Nagus's 3 beings that comprise 3 souls, which comprise his being, finally being awakened after so long.
Mm-hmm.
It was the second story in the comic. Oh yeah,
Ah.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Huh?
what is your from what you remember? Who is your favorite villain of the comic?
Favorite villain of the comics?
Yes.
Hmm. Let's see, because I know. let's see, Robotnik is definitely in there, and he was much more similar to his Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog counterpart.
Well, in personality wise, not really design wise.
Yeah.
But that's because in the early days of the comic, it was just a gag comic.
Yes.
Go on.
Um. I think it was just Robotnik during the time I actively read the comic series.
So a lot of villains you don't know.
Yeah. Scourge, I didn't read far enough to actually get to know him. I just knew him as Anti-Sonic.
Which is funny because that's what he was to be at the start.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Scratch and Grounder were in the comics too.
Yeah, they appeared in later issues after the reboot.
Yay.
And Coconuts, too.
Yes.
As well as Breezy, all from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog comic.
Yay.
The show, given new life in the comic after its reboot.
Nice.
So, yeah. Let's see, for me, hey. As controversial as this may be, I do like some of the Echidna villains there were, like Leenda of the Dark Egg Legion, as well as her great-grandfather Dimitri, the robotic Echidna in a head in a glass jar.
Yes.
Scourge and the Destructics, and the Anti-Freedom Fighters, also yes. Obviously, Eggman. Let's see, what else? Oh, there's so many villains.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta think. Obviously, Metal Sonic was nice.
Yes, he was.
Oh, yeah, and Mammoth Mogul.
Mammoth Mogul?
Yes, Mammoth. He's a mammoth who is centuries old, named Mogul. Well, his full name is Ixis Mogul.
Ah.
But yes, he is a Mobian mammoth who gained immortality and the ability to use magic thanks to a Chaos Emerald that he found, which embedded itself in his chest.
Okay.
The best way to describe Mammoth Mogul is Kingpin from the Spider-Man comics.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a crime boss who knows magic.
Okay.
Yep. I like his design, and it's also because I'm a big fan of elephants. Or elephant-like characters. But yes. Mammoth Mogul, crime boss of the Archie Sonic the Hedgehog world.
Yeah.
Who would later give up the life of evil and would become a mentor to Silver the Hedgehog as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, wasn't Silver written so much better in the comics than he was in the games?
That would imply that the games actually had any story for him to begin with.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
It's just a shame though, because I like Silver.
He just deserved a lot better than he'd got in the games.
Yes.
Yep. And hopefully any future games that include him will give him what he deserves.
Yes. Considering he's voiced by Nagitoko Maeda now of Danganronpa, I imagine so.
Oh yeah, what did he voice him in?
Bryce Papenbrook. He first did the voice of Silver in, I think, Team Sonic Racing.
Ah. Very good. But yeah, so Silver was done pretty well in the comic, and hopefully they can translate that into the games.
Yeah.
And again, with Ian Flynn as the writer, as the go-to story writer for the games, I imagine so.
Yes. It's been a while since we got any news on a new Sonic game. The last one we got was the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Wait, really? No, we got the news of Sonic and Shadow Generations.
I'm talking about the last one we got.
Uh huh.
We
Last game
didn't
we
get
got.
Sonic's. We didn't get Shadow Generations yet.
No, that's this month. Or the month of this video.
That is this month.
Yep.
Oh,
They
I want to get the
re-released.
pre-order bundle so bad.
You want to pay $200 for all that, do you?
No. On Steam it's only like 60.
Ah, okay. Here's a picture of what Ixis Mogul looks like.
Okay. That is one angry-looking effluent.
Yep, angry-looking mammoth. But yes,
Yes.
I mean, I told you he is evil.
Pre-purchase this edition and play the game starting 3 days ahead of full release. Okay. Advanced access, that's what it's called.
Interesting. No.
And even so, like Sonic X Shadow Generations is just another version of Sonic Generations.
Yeah, but with an added story beat to it
Yes.
in the form of Shadow the Hedgehog, and from what I've seen, it looks like they're trying to do Shadow the Hedgehog right.
After he's been written so poorly throughout the past decade.
Wait, poorly?
Like have you seen the way he was written in the games?
Eh, not much, but go on.
I'll just say that he has been flanderized in the games.
Oh yeah. Okay, I could kind of see where you're getting at.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully this game will do him justice.
Yes. Anyway, back to the comics.
Oh yeah, back to the
We
comic.
did talk a lot about Archie, but what about IDW? Can you summarize IDW thus far?
IDW is basically continuation of the Sonic games in between titles, and has a lot of story beats and arcs that I would heavily recommend giving a look see.
Okay.
One of my personal favorites being the Metal Virus arc.
Oh, okay.
Yep, where everyone becomes a Zombot. Okay, not everyone, but people become Zombots.
Oh no!
Yes. Even Shadow stupidly becomes one. Another point of controversy among the fans.
How did that happen?
He was. There was an evacuation going on where Sonic and his friends were trying to help save civilians from the Zombots. Shadow wanted to fight back, thinking because he was the ultimate life form and immune to most diseases, he would have a chance to stop them. No.
Ah.
Just no. He got turned into a Zombot.
Mm-hmm.
Much to the fans' chagrin.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the Zeti, how are they
Yeah.
written?
Ah, boy, oh boy. How are they written? Honestly, I can't really tell the difference between them and their game counterparts.
Oh.
Still a bit one note, unfortunately. Yes, they do control the Zombots a lot better than Eggman can, but still a bit one note in terms of character.
Mm-hmm. It makes you wonder why Sega was insistent on pushing Zavok, especially after the release of Sonic Lost World.
Well, to be fair, Zavok did get a little bit of improvement during the bad guy's side story.
Okay.
So, because it was just him and not the rest of his cronies.
Excuse me.
So, take for that what you will.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure everything is still working.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, just
Because
awkward.
he is Sonic's Bowser?
Sonic's Bowser.
Oh, are
Huh.
you comparing Zavok to Bowser, DJ?
Oh, stream.
Hey, remember how they traumatized a literal child in that? Are you talking about Belle?
I believe they're talking about Cream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cream got traumatized during the Zombot arc.
Oh, poor baby.
her mother and her child companions were turned into zombots.
Oh, poor
Yeah.
Cream.
Yes. She was quite broken as the issues went on.
Oh.
Oh, poor babe.
um. Okay, who do you think your favorite characters from the comics are? Villains, heroes, game, original characters.
Like from both the comics, or
From, yeah, from both. From both.
okay. Be prepared. I'm going to go through a list here. I've already mentioned my Archie favorites.
Mm-hmm.
My IDW favorites are Tangle, Whisper, Surge, Kit, Tsunami, Dr. Starline, Belle. Let's see what else? What else? Blaze was done very well in this one, as well as Silver.
Mm-hmm.
The Chaotix are definitely shown to be more competent in this one.
Yay! Plus
Okay.
Cream, not Cream. Plus Charmy doesn't have brain damage in that one.
Nope, he's just a kid.
He is just a kid.
Yep. The new characters who run a radio show called Night and Dawn. Night the Owl and Dawn the Rooster.
Okay. Oh, that's cute.
Yep, and ironically enough, the fans do ship those two, and I think it was subtly hinted that they may be a couple.
Aww.
Yeah, a Night the Owl and Dawn the Rooster. Let's see. Clutch the Opossum, who is basically the the less magically inclined mogul counterpart in the IDW comics.
Ah.
He's a criminal kingpin who makes a living selling, taking and reselling old scrapnik parts to bad guys.
Okay.
Oh, and on a lower mention, I would say Rough and Tumble, the two skunk brothers from the comic too.
Okay.
Yeah. But my absolute favorites from the comic have got to be both Tangle and Whisper, for sure.
The lesbians.
Yes, the perfect yin and yang with each other.
Yee.
And it was actually revealed that Whisper was a completely different person, like unbelievably different, before the whole incident which led her to become what she is now.
Ah. Okay.
The best way to describe Whisper pre-incident, which I'll get into in a second, is Tangle 2.0.
Oh.
Yeah, you could, if you were to look at them side by side and read the stories that featured them, you would not be able to tell them apart.
Okay.
Yeah, so before the whole incident which caused Whisper to become what she is now, she was a bright and bubbly character.
Okay.
Yeah. Very cute, very adorable.
Yee.
But now that she is more quiet and reserved, well, she fits Tangle to a T.
Yay.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, Tangle's team, known as the Diamond Cutters, were basically a humongous inspiration, or no, a bit greatly inspired by Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you guys are Metal Gear Solid fans, then you would know what I'm talking about.
I'm not, so I don't.
Long story short, it's a big reference to, like I said, it's a big reference to the Metal Gear Solid series as a whole.
Ah,
Like,
okay.
from the Diamond Cutter's name, what their animals are, their animal species are, and what they do,
Mm-hmm.
etc., etc.
Okay.
I mean, Whisper the Wolf is essentially a reference to a specific character from the first Metal Gear Solid, called Sniper Wolf.
Oh no. I am getting terrible flashbacks.
Oh boy.
But the less we speak about her, the better.
Okay.
You know, I'll DM you what I'm talking about. But those
Okay.
of you who are listening, if you know, you know.
Okay, I don't know that one, but sure.
Okay, you don't know her. Good. She's a YouTuber who doxed another YouTuber.
Okay, well, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that.
You can explain afterwards.
Yes.
Okay, dokie. Well, anyway, that aside, being the aforementioned reference to Metal Gear Solid, yes, Tangle and Whisper are good characters.
Yeah.
Tangle is a bubbly character who is always all about adventure, but
But
hang
what?
on.
You got cut off.
Sorry, I was reading a tweet, but she is not above listening to others, and she's always there to be supportive of her friends, especially Whisper.
Yay.
Like the Tangle and Whisper miniseries show goes to prove that.
Hmm.
Yes. And when Tangle becomes a Zombot, Whisper is absolutely devastated.
Hmm.
Yeah. Not fun.
Yeah,
Bless you.
not fun at all.
Bless you.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. Tangle and Whisper look pretty cool in their Sonic Rider attire.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh, another character I say I'm a personal fan of, though I can understand why people aren't, would have to be the character of Lanolin the Sheep.
Lanolin the sheep. That name sounds familiar.
She's a white sheep who for a while only appeared as a background addition, especially when Adam Bryce Thomas was working on the comic.
Ah.
He's the one who originally created her.
Mm-hmm.
And she has been upgraded from secondary protagonist to first tier protagonist because she is now one of the members of the Diamond Cutters.
Oh,
And
okay.
or the newer Diamond Cutters, and boy, she has garnered a lot of talking points from fans.
Okay. Excuse me.
Yeah, people either seem to like or dislike her immensely, mostly
Ah.
because of how she's written, especially in the recent Sonic Riders arc.
Okay.
I am of the personal opinion that some of those controversies or criticisms are a bit unjust.
Mm.
But you'd have to read the comic to get an idea what I'm saying. Why?
Excuse me.
But yeah, I like Lanolin the sheep. She has a cute design, and you cannot change my mind.
Yay.
And while I can understand why some people don't like her, I cannot, in good nature, accept those criticisms as my own.
Right.
Because I think she is there's a bit more deep character within her than what the comic may imply, and people seem to be only want to look in the surface level.
Okay.
She's a good character. Um, she plays the role of inexperienced soldier, trying to make a good impression, try to do the right thing, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
But like I said, she was basically a background character starting in issue 2. But as the IDW comics went on, she gained more and more prominence until she was officially brought in the main story.
Okay.
Yeah, just look. You'll see what she looks like.
Mm. Okay.
Lanolin.
Lanolin. That's just such a cute. That's such a nice sounding name.
Yeah. I believe lanolin is also a term which refers to something about sheep. But I don't know what it is. Oh, there it is.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Oh, here it is. Lanolin is the purified, secreted product of the sheep's sebaceous glands.
Oh.
There's regards for the reason. Wool. Oh, okay. That's what lanolin is. It's lanolin is basically wool wax.
Okay.
So, yeah, her name is basically by wool wax
Oh, that's cool.
because she's a sheep.
That's cool.
like I said, first speaking role was in Sonic the Hedgehog #2, but her true debut as a frontliner character was in
Huh.
uh, what did I say?
Okay.
Oh, the Urban Warfare arc.
Okay.
So yeah, she was just a character that Adam Bryce Thomas snuck in during some issues because he was the one who created her,
Mm-hmm.
and now here she is. And again, just a lot of controversy because of her recent story beats. And it doesn't help that she's being slowly uh, not gaslighted by the infiltrator villain known as Mimic the Octopus. For
Okay.
those of you who are in the know, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the current arc is basically she's being gaslighted by him in order to manipulate her into doing what he wants.
Okay.
And it's all in the purpose of so Clutch could take over the restoration.
All right.
Yeah, evil. Evil.
Evil.
Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can really say about the comics myself. The Archie, the basic sum up is the Archie comics is still retains the Guinness World Record of the longest comic run based off a known franchise like Sonic the Hedgehog.
I think for a while it was also the longest video game based comic
Yeah,
ever.
I think it still is.
Yeah, it still is.
Yeah, because no other video game based comic has beaten it. At least yet.
Excuse me.
And IDW is still technically new. It's only up to
We are currently
73, soon to be 74 issues.
Yeah, we are currently 7 years in, almost 8 years in.
Yep. And boy, what a run it's been so far. Again, even in spite of all the Sega mandates, it's still a pretty good story.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Let's see. No new comments on either here or on TikTok or on Twitch. But I have 65 viewers on TikTok.
funny.
Is there anything else you would like to say?
The only thing I have to say, Miss Venus, is I highly recommend giving the comics, both IDW and Archie, a look-see or re-look-see, and you may find something you may either like or not like. I'd still highly recommend giving them a look-see yourself.
Good to know.
Yeah, the art is fantastic. The writing in the Archie is definitely consistent as it gets later on. It does improve on bad characters, I think. And the IDWs is a good tie-in for the games, and will highly recommend. And Belle the Tinkerer is adorable.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on today.
No prob.
And thank all of you for joining us. Let's see. I'm trying to think of if we are able to do this next week or the week after, depending on if I'm able to get Finn the pony, or wait, no, that's not his name anymore. Dr. Box? Yeah, it depends on if I'm able to get him on the last Sunday of October, so we can do Monster Road Trip.
I mean, technically his name is still Finn the Pony, but go on.
Yes. I will let you guys know. And with that, I think we shall be signing off.